That Aaron Hardie all-around performance is not going to do well to this Australian cricket psychosis that has plagued Pakistan for 4 decades.
Well, I think Sam Ayub is going to be on the outside looking in for a while. He might miss out on the World Cup.
Every crore that was spent on him only bought 21 runs.
Welcome to Over and Out, the usual gang back again after a long time with our post PSL review. I'm, of course, Sadir Reza here in Texas. With me is Izzy and Mustafa Siddiqui, DawnNews. How are you guys?
Uh, kind of disappointed with what we got in the final, considering how good the tournament was.
So let's come to the tournament. Obviously, two new teams are added. A third franchise changed hands. A lot of hype, and then unfortunately, no fans in the stadium. And I think that took a little bit of the spice out of
Hmm.
the tournament. But uh, I think the best teams made it to the playoffs, and
Hmm.
probably the best team definitely won the whole thing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, in a T20 competition, isn't that what you want? Go
No,
ahead.
Yeah.
absolutely. They were dominant right from ball one. Peshawar Zalmi, they got what, 7 wins in their 10 games or something like that. Absolutely got it. They got their drafting spot on. They didn't have a lot of squad depth, but जो उनका front line था, it was a very top-heavy team. They got Kusal Mendes spot on. They got Bracewell spot on. Aaron Hardie came in really hard, as the Australians do in a knockout game. Don't speak about Glenn Maxwell, but Aaron Hardie picked up 7 wickets in 2 matches. And of course, that match winning 50 in the final. And Naheed Rana absolutely blew away the opposition. And we got some good performances from their Pakistan players as well. Abdul Samad was quite impressive. Mohammad Basit is a good left-arm seamer that they found. Iftikhar for 60 lakh rupees, the kind of value that he offered to Peshawar Zalmi this PSL was truly incredible. And in the end, the best team won. TK Hyderabad got a bit streaky, got a bit lucky, and got exposed in the final. But Zalmi, it was all the way, and very happy that there is a positive vibe surrounding Babar Azam and his performances these days.
Yeah. The I will come to Babar, but first and foremost, that Aaron Hardie all-around performance is not going to do well to this Australian cricket psychosis that has plagued Pakistan for 4 decades. Like it is plagued us, and it will never go away.
How much did they pay? 4 crores or 6 crores? And look at Cameron Green in the IPL. They paid what, 27
Oh yeah,
crores for
we're
him.
not seeing that man again for the next 10 years.
There was
We're not,
also some controversy over the direct signing of Aaron Hardie. I think some other clubs wanted to hire him to sign him as well directly, but the Zalmi got in. But I give the organizers credit. This was not an easy tournament to host. They had a very compressed window because the draft was so late, the teams were sold so late, and then last minute, of course, no fans. But they pulled it off. You had
changing
some
hands of team owners as well.
Yeah, as well. You had some good games, good matches. I think good balance between bat and ball. You didn't have a whole bunch of these 250, 260 games.
Mm.
Um, I do think that it'll take some time for the floor to come up because obviously there was some dilution with two additional teams. Two additional teams also means 15 more internationals, 30 more players. But that'll come. But overall, pretty successful. I think if you were the PCB, if you were Salman Nasir, if you were Mohsin Naqvi, you can be pleased with what happened.
Yeah, considering the obstacles they faced with the fuel prices and the situation, quote unquote, I think, like you mentioned, Doc, they did a very good job. The playoffs were outstanding, pretty decent crowds, and the final was absolutely rocking. 32,000, 32,500 fans packed in like sardines at the Gaddafi Stadium, and the hometown boy took the title as captain. I mean, it's like they say it's a script, it's a Bollywood script, but I think it was truly a great ending. Unfortunately, the only damn squib was that he got a golden duck. Agar अच्छे run maar leta, would have been enjoyable. But Peshawar Zalmi through and through, and they deserve the second title.
Yeah, I mean, like, people might say like, oh, he got a golden duck. He got 100 in to get them to the final. So like, no one can say he didn't win this tournament off his bat, because like he scored like the most runs in a PSL
I
season
was
ever.
honestly shocked they picked Sufyan Mukim as player of the tournament. I thought it was a shoe in for
But no,
Babar.
no, no, it should have been Babar. It very
I
easily
think
should
if
have.
he'd scored one more run and taken over that Fakhr record, It would have been him. It's just that it's hard to give player of the
Fine
tournament to someone when
margins,
you.
fine margins at the
Well, it's hard to
PSL.
give player of the tournament when you score a golden duck, right? In the
Yeah.
final. It's just
That
it's a
would have been
mental
limitless
hurdle.
aura. आप क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? That would have been the ultimate to give it to a guy who got a blob in the final.
Yeah.
That would
Uh,
have been so Pakistani, to be quite honest.
but I think the two stars of Zalmi, yes, you have Naheed Rana and you have Aaron Hardie, who obviously showed up in the final. But you had your two local stars in Sufyan Mukim and Babar Azam, who were the backbone of
And
that
Samad,
batting.
yeah, Samad was
And some,
brilliant as well, which was
some,
40 for 4.
huh,
The game could have gone either way.
huh, and like to a certain extent, I wanted them to lose another wicket or two so the game got a bit more competitive. But magar, it is what it is. Like they were the best team all tournament. But like coming back to my point, Sufyan Mukim is one of the best. He's obviously, I think, one of the top three spinners in the country, and like he was bowling out of his mind this tournament. And Babar, I haven't seen Babar bat that well.
Yeah, Mustafa, I don't know, yeah. It's difficult to judge spinners in PSL because there's a lot of junk wickets.
There's a lot
I
of
think
Shadab
junk.
हर साल topper
I
होता है,
think it's
हर साल
difficult to
topper होता है
judge.
यार.
It's difficult to
Osama
judge
May was
anyone.
unplayable for MS for a couple of seasons.
Nah, but I think Sufyan is actually legitimately good. You can see with how he bowls.
Do it in a World Cup.
It's like those quick darts and you get out caught at deep square and
Yeah.
long on. I don't know, bro. I'm still.
All right,
Let's
let's
see.
come to some of the other teams. So let's talk about two teams
Let's
who
talk
played.
about Karachi. Let's talk about
Before
Karachi.
we come
That's the
to
one I want to get
Karachi,
into.
let's talk to about the two teams that played the match of the PSL, which was basically eliminator number two between Islamabad United and Hyderabad. Let's talk about both those teams. Let's talk about that match, which is probably one
Oh,
of the
what a game.
best matches I've seen. If you look at the win predictor, it basically up and down, like almost like an EKG of one of my patients. It was
Shout out.
fantastic to see that game. Give Hyderabad a lot of credit. They were basically 0 for 4, done, dusted. People were mocking them. You know, their owner walked in with a WWE belt. But they did it. And of course, to beat a team like Islamabad, which has so much championship pedigree, is fantastic. Let's talk about both those teams. Izzy, you want
They
to go
have
first?
an they have an even bigger pedigree of bottling these eliminators, and that is why it was such
Mm,
an ultimate thrill. And of course, the American boy via Karachi, Hassan Khan, with that unbelievable fielding effort. And I love the positive vibes we gained from that match through Marnus Labuschagne and the way he celebrated and he got
mm,
emotional about that game. It truly was an unbelievable game and easily a top five PSL match of all
mm.
time. Easily, hands down.
What matches would you think would be better?
The
Hmm.
Multan
That
LQ
one,
final
Quetta Zalmi in the packed Dubai
and
Stadium.
the
That one.
Multan LQ final, which came down to the last ball.
Oh,
Uh,
Of
I, I,
course.
run
I
it back.
always,
Run it back.
I will always remember that first PSL with the Pollard game.
That was the second PSL.
Second PSL, sorry. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
But that was ठीक है. Both crap teams and one, snuck in. क्या करें?
Magar, it was actually
And even
legit.
that Zaman Khan in Islamabad game, the first one, that was a
Yeah,
good one as well. When he
yeah,
defended eight.
yeah. But
There are a
like,
lot of Lahore games.
ha ha ha. Magar, like, the thing is, I was just very happy that at least one, like a new team got to the final, right? Because it at least showed that, oh, the owners aren't completely the new owner does know something about it. Like I think they did luck out a lot of the time, but I did
Yeah, they
think
lucked into a bowling attack, bro, basically.
they lucked into a bowling attack. I completely understand that, but like,
But the lack of spin options hurt them then in the
yeah, yeah,
final.
yeah.
They didn't
Hmm.
have a dedicated spinner. Can we just talk about two players? One
Yeah,
is
sure.
Izzy's boy Sam Ayub.
Hmm.
Uh, our closing thoughts on him, and two Shadab Khan.
How much runs did he get? What was his
He
final
got a
run time?
50 in the final, but that was his only 50 in the PSL
Yeah,
this season.
yeah.
मतलब 12 crore, 12.6 crore
What's his
you know,
future? He's your most expensive PSL
very
player.
good question. Brilliant
And what
question.
is the future of Shadab Khan? These are my
Uh,
questions for those two teams. Go for it.
Well, I think Sam Ayub is going to be on the outside looking in for a while. He might miss out on the World Cup unless, there is absolutely a deplorable performance from the one-day top order and they're forced to recall him. But let's see, Pakistan have quite a few bilaterals coming up. They take on Zimbabwe, they take on England as well, I believe. They take on Australia. Australia is coming to Pakistan for bilateral ODI series. So there'll be some good examinations. On paper, he has got very solid one-day numbers, but I do believe he deserves a spell outside the Pakistan team. Maybe it's for his own good because the kind of rope and leeway he was given, it's unacceptable, man. Matlab, he had to make weight. Enough was enough.
Every crore that was spent on him only bought 21 runs. Like
And we thought
that's
fuel prices were crazy.
like it's like
That's a great
that
stat.
that it's not a good.
And I don't think his bowling was good enough as a
Yeah,
spinner
no, it was
to
horrendous
make
this
up for it.
tournament.
Pitches
It
were
was,
too flat for him to be any effective
yeah,
at all, man.
yeah. But like, can we talk about the other boy that from HK that I really want
Well,
to talk
Doc
about?
mentioned Shadab. What about him? What is the referendum on him?
Shad,
I'm
I,
honestly torn, man. I'm sick of
yeah,
Shadab,
because
man.
Shadab, like I've been sick of Shadab for the last 4 years, but at the same time,
लेकिन वो ये है कि कौन उसकी जगह ले? That's the problem, Doc.
that's
We
the
don't have
problem. That's always
replacements,
been the
man.
problem,
He
man.
was your all-rounder of the tournament. Do you see him as a number 4 in your
Junk
team?
wickets.
I
He might
agree.
be the next captain. He might be the
You know,
next T20I captain.
he's probably your next T20I captain,
Well,
which is a
this is
problem.
Because they have that
why
Hassan and that Islu, that sickness,
it's
that
it's why I asked the
nepotism.
question because I think he's a polarizing player.
He's not. He used to be polarizing. I think most people are in one camp now with him, which is that we like with me. I was a giant Shadab supporter, right?
उसको बर्दाश्त कर रहे हैं इस वक्त.
Well,
He's not a fan favorite anymore.
he's not like we. I used to be a giant Shadab supporter, but like at this point, I'm just like, bro. It's been 5 years. You haven't shown me a lick of the form and the
All right,
lick of
fair
the
enough. So
potential.
the consensus is that this PSL didn't do enough to overcome the ICC performances that he's had. Fair enough. Let's come to another club. Easy, this is your team.
Hmm.
LQ, their
Hmm.
performances this year and the future of Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shafidi. Take it away.
Well, I have been on
And
record
Fakhar
and
Zaman.
demanding that they get rid of Haris Rauf. The problem is Fakhar was so clutch this season, we don't really have a replacement. Some of our new guys didn't pay off as well. The new Mohammad Naeem failed a bit. Mohammad Farooq was not convincing as well. We drafted really poorly. We didn't go for those big ticket items. I don't know, understand why they got in Mustafiz, although he's a very good bowler, but our bowling was always stacked. Hasibullah did not answer any questions at all. Sikandar Raza did what he could. But the drafting was bad. They need to go look for stars once again, in my opinion, like Peshawar Zalmi have done. Future of Haris Rauf, it is what it is. He is considered, like an adopted son of the owners. तो वो हमेशा ही खेलेगा. फखर भी adopted son है. शाहीन चावरीदी तो है ही.
What
He
about
is
for the
like just
national team?
everything for them.
What
Well,
about for the national
Haris
team?
should never play for the national team ever again. We came
I
to
think
this
वनडे
conclusion.
में ठीक है. T20 में तो यार बस
Yeah,
कर.
you can't play. He's way too expensive for T20, man.
And Shaheen and Fakhar?
Shaheen,
I
no,
Fakhar
Shaheen,
deserves that send off into the horizon in the
uh,
2027 World Cup on true
bro,
South African cricket. It should be good.
he's the only person who I can see who can actually play clutch innings in ICC tournaments. I don't know who else can, right?
He showed it in this past tournament as
He
well.
showed this in this
There you
past,
go.
Against Sri Lanka.
Who else in the last decade and a half has shown to play clutch innings like Fakhar Zaman does?
I would say that's the biggest difference between him and Babar is that Babar, for some reason, doesn't play clutch innings. He
He
doesn't.
has that reckless abandon. He has that clarity in his approach.
Yeah, I think Babar is good in games 3, 4, and 5 in NBA series, but not in games 1 and 7.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not in
he's
games
a
1 and
stat
7.
pattern like Tatum.
So Tatum, 51 points in game 7, Tatum.
रोल कर रहा हूँ.
All right, Mustafa,
Wait
let me
मत लो
let me
इतनी
come
आसानी से.
to one of your teams. I thought the Karachi Kings started well. I think that the schedule hurt them when they had
Shambles.
this 1 week break. David Warner went back to Australia. He had some
That's
off-field issues, and then they never got it back on track. And I think the schedule hurt them more than anything else, because I think if you ask them, this was a disappointing performance. I think on paper the team was balanced.
I
It
think
just didn't click.
On paper,
This
the two.
they should be fireable offenses for the way
Hmm.
this team bottled so hard. Salman Ali Agha, David Warner, Reza Hendricks, Moeen Ali, Azam Khan, Hassan
It
Ali,
was a
और
very well
कितने
balanced
प्लेयर
team.
चाहिए भाई,
And
कितने प्लेयर चाहिए
they
आपको?
started off like a house on fire. It's just after that break, that almost week and a half break, it just completely,
That Karachi
and
like
that's why
absolutely sealed them,
momentum
sealed
is
them.
so important in sports. We talk about
Hmm.
this all the time, and I think they
Yeah.
just got cold and they could never.
No, they got hot too early, and what else would you call it? They peaked early, which was the first three games of the tournament.
There was like two games out of three. कौन सा peak?
They took a 3-1 lead against the Sixers and then choked it.
If for people
On the
watching right
side
now,
from the
I'm a Celtics fan. They are clowning on me because of that reason.
But
Uh,
I think they need some sweeping changes. अब वही है कि in that ARY setup कोई sweeping changes होंगी नहीं. They'll just come in for the vibes and disappoint the fans massively,
mm.
as we can see from Siddiqui Saab's face.
So, uh, let's be very honest.
And even
Uh,
worse than them is QG.
yeah,
They're
QGs. No, but like,
hopeless.
but one thing about Karachi Kings, I told you after we won three games, let me enjoy this because I know they won't let me enjoy this. Um, because they are going to ruin it. Because I know this team. I know this
What's
ownership.
and COVID titles don't count, so you're the only top tier franchise without a PSL trophy.
Acha, so the Brawn only has three.
भाई क्रिकेट की बात हो रही है कहाँ तुम
Acha, okay, now go to QG. Oh my God,
कहाँ
QG.
जाए
Yeah,
किधर लेके जाए उनको
what's
कहाँ
happening
लेके
with
जाए
them? You know, they still have a decent think tank in Rayan and obviously Nabil.
Yeah.
I
It's,
just
Sadi bhai, it's a TikTok team. It's based on reels. Hassan Nawaz, Khwaja Nafe, चलो Abrar ठीक है, Usman Tariq ठीक है, but it's just a team created on social media. It has
I
no batting depth. It has no bowling, fast bowling quality whatsoever. Spin heavy तुम जा रहे हो जब सीमेंट विकेटें होती हैं PSL में, especially लाहौर पिंडी वगैरह में. They're lucky that we had a large share of games in Karachi. Otherwise, वो मैच भी वो लोग शायद ना जीतते.
You make an interesting point. Let me ask you this. Suppose the PSL had taken place in these six stadiums instead of just Lahore and Karachi. Would the tables have been different? If
not
they'd played
Very
in
good
Pindi, if
question.
they'd played in Multan, if they'd played in I think Faisalabad had a game scheduled.
I
They had
still
games everywhere except for basically Peshawar. If you
yeah.
had other games played in other places,
हाँ
not as many Karachi and Lahore, would the tables be the same? Because they drafted for that. The teams were
हम्म
built for that.
I mean, if so, I personally think Peshawar Zalmi were just such an all-around good team that I think they would have dominated no matter what, right? And
I think if we had matches in Pindi, then Multan's top order would have been. They were very good already in this PSL. लेकिन फिर
yeah,
Smudge और साहिबजादा तो उन्होंने बहुत मार डाला उधर.
बहुत मारते.
And Faisalabad is pretty much a small ground, very similar to Pindi,
हाँ,
batting track as well. So I think Multan's would have probably finished in the top two. I think they finished in the top two already. I think they did, yeah. So I think they would have been even stronger
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
In fact, they finished third on that last loss they had, and that cost them so badly against
Yep,
HK.
they came third. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's talk about Gohar Shah and his team that he put together on the fly, basically. Thoughts on that? I
So वो
like the
कल क्या
fact
देखा?
that he's
I hate
interacting with
OKC.
fans and
They've always
stuff.
been our rivals.
I mean, I'm not gonna speak on Gohar Shah right now. I'm just gonna talk about the team. I think the team is really good. I think as
नहीं,
I've
what did Winston Turner do the whole season? कुछ भी नहीं किया, बेकार.
Turner didn't do anything to I think he
And
was a
his
good
batting
cap.
ended at 6 and 7. वो तो चलो मिन्हास अराफात बहुत अच्छा कर
Huh,
गया.
huh.
Otherwise, they had no depth in batting at all. It was
No,
a
no,
very
but like
flawed team.
you still had a good you had three good batsmen in your top four with Sabzada Farhan, Steve Smith, and Shan Masood, right? And
Shan
like
was brilliant in this
Shan
season.
was
He had a very good
brilliant,
series, right?
Very good.
What's
very
his
good.
Very
future?
good.
Future, yes, no, none?
मतलब ये है हाँ कि वो यही
I
बातें शुरू
wouldn't
हो गई कि
mind
भाई
him
शान
back in the
वापस
team.
लाओ.
Like I wouldn't mind him back in the team. He's a middle order bat. We
To be
need
honest,
middle order bats.
the way he played, he deserves to be selected. You can't
Yeah.
argue with the
50
numbers.
overs or T20? To me,
50 ओवर में कौन है पांच पे आजकल?
the biggest crux of the issue to me is that there is a jump in competition levels between a franchise league and a World Cup. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, we're judged on World Cups.
Very true.
Yeah.
Problem ये है हमारे साथ यही है. And he was what our highest run getter in 2022. We thought he is
Yeah.
tailor-made for Australian conditions, but even then, man, he's really evolved and really improved, man. It's fair play to him.
Yeah. And I just once again, it is absolutely insanity to me that Steve Smith wasn't picked for the Australian squad.
वो
in,
गया तो था, वो
over-
कोलंबो ही नहीं पहुंचा टाइम में बेचारा.
No, Maga, was not even. He wasn't picked. He was a replacement. Like he had
He
one
was,
of.
but I think the timing of that post Ashes was also difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So last franchise, Pindies, thoughts?
Truly lost. Absolute shambles once
Truly
again.
last. Truly last.
How do they fix it?
I think they have to tear down the whole team. The structure,
Yeah.
the batting structure was flawed. Mohammad Rizwan is not a popular leader. Naseem Shah got injured as well. A lot of things went against them, but
Yeah.
basic
Amir's
DNA
finished.
team ka that
Amir's
is-
pretty finished.
Amir is way washed. Way washed.
Yeah, Amir's pretty finished, which is very sad for me to say. Like,
They have to
did
tear down the
anyone
whole thing.
did
basically.
anyone do good in their team?
So AZ brought up a name. Let's talk about it. Rizwan's career in T20.
Hmm.
Clearly, he's not national team worthy anymore.
No way.
Is he good enough to be a T20 captain? He's obviously had great success with Multan, 3 finals in a row. They won one. He has leadership qualities. But where do they go from here? Because time caught up with him very quickly. He just seemed slow, and he's always been someone who didn't have natural talent. He has to grind and grift to make his runs. But I think once you lose your hand-eye coordination, you lose a millisecond here and there. If you don't have natural talent, it becomes very hard to come back. What's his future?
डॉक हमने बार बार ये बात की है, तीनों फॉर्मेट खेलना इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. इवन विराट कोहली डिड इट एट एन एलीट लेवल फॉर ओनली 7-8 years. बाबर आजम एक्सपोज हो गया 3-4 साल बाद, उससे तीनों फॉर्मेट नहीं खेले जाते. बट those two are extremely gifted players as well. You remove that talent quotient for Mohammad Rizwan, और वो अभी भी 3 फॉर्मेट खेल रहा है पाकिस्तान के लिए until getting dropped from T20 recently. So I think that talent quotient, without that, he was not going to be able to manage playing 3 formats. So PSL पे productive होगा उसे अगर आप leadership वगैरह छीन लो. और ठीक है, wicket keeper opener is always a bonus because you can play that extra all-rounder. But definitely he has to start, of course, a one day or सिर्फ टेस्ट खेलता है. So maybe he can still manage and drag himself till 2027. लेकिन वही बात है, जब इसके तीनों फॉर्मेट खिला रहे थे हम, that is where that downfall came in, especially in T20 internationals for him.
So this is the thing. This is something I've just noticed. Like, wicket keepers, like, they age fast. Like
You see that in baseball as well.
Yeah, because
Look at Joe Mauer, look at Jorge Posada. You just look at players. They just even in baseball, it's a tough position.
No, because like it is one of the most. It's the most physically exerting position on the field, aside from maybe being a fast bowler, because you're constantly moving. You're constantly. It's a complete mental game, because half the time you are helping the captain out whether to review or not. You are constantly trying to judge, where helping out with field setting as well. It's a very mentally taxing while also being physically taxing. And then you're also asking him to open the batting while his entire game is built around hard work and singles and doubles. It's like stuff is going to catch up to you.
वैसे
Man.
अभी भी अगर रिजबर को रियूनाइट कर लो ना तो कुछ हो सकता है. दिल कहता है.
Naseem Shah. What's thoughts on Naseem? Naseem Shah.
Yeah, जब तक कि अपनी फिटनेस नहीं ठीक करेगा यही रहेगा. क्या करें? Even actually people don't realize his T20 numbers are not good. He's not even taking a wicket per match.
He's always the player of this generation who missed potential, right? There was 2022 was probably
that's what he debuted in 2019, 2020.
I think 22 was his peak performances, and
even
we expected him to take the next.
इसका कोई भी फॉर्मेट elite नहीं है. He just stat padded in that Netherlands series and New Zealand भी थोड़ा
We
सा एक अच्छा
expected him to take the
spin
next
था.
step, and he never took it.
Yeah. We all like
उसको
so.
wicket उसको अभी तक he doesn't know how to get people out. He doesn't know how to set them up. वही अपना वो कुछ करता रहेगा.
No,
अगर विकेट मिल गई तो अल्लाह अल्लाह खैर
no.
सल्ला. उससे खुद आउट नहीं होते.
So the thing that like I've always been like one of the day one Naseem supporters, like even before like he debuted in Australia, right? I was watching
How
him.
many times has Siddiqui been on the wrong side of history? Simon, you.
I've lost count. Actually, I had a running tracker on this, and I've lost
Boston
it.
Patriots,
At this point, I just chalk it up to youthful indiscretions.
Karachi Kings, Stalin.
Hey, you forget I'm a United fan as well.
ये देखो चलो अब तो दोनों बैठे हैं इधर. दोनों बैठे हैं इधर.
All right,
Acha,
उस पे भी थोड़ा सा बात कर लेते हैं. कोबी माइनो, what a goal.
wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. And two things you want to see in PSL 12.
6 stadiums. I want my
Of course.
6 stadiums. I want my 6 stadiums, man.
Home and home games would be very good. I agree.
Yes.
Home and away तो बहुत जरूरी है, and thankfully we'll finally have our window back क्योंकि we'll have that February
That
March spot
February
again.
March
तो
spot again. That'll help.
अंग्रेज आ जाएंगे, कुछ कैरिबियन भी आ जाएंगे, कुछ इधर उधर के शायद ऑजी टूटे पज्जे जैसे इस वक्त आए थे वो भी आ जाएंगे. So hoping that it'll be a solid auction list as well.
Yeah, and I also think like weather-wise, it's just going to be better as well because like
Of course.
yeah, it was like legit. Like you guys are not in Karachi right now. It is legitimately like 45 degrees today. Like it is horrible. Like it's not conditions to go watch cricket in like
नहीं भाई.
in National Stadium, man.
And the auction system
हम
here
लोगों
to
ने
stay.
छत भी
You
उड़ा
guys
दी,
are happy with it?
वैसे it's a vibe यार, NSK बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपस की
No,
बात.
we finally have a stadium that actually looks like a modern stadium finally. Like
It doesn't look like a cemetery वाकई.
that doesn't look like a jail cell.
Auction
Hello.
system here to stay.
Yeah,
I think
I
it
like
was
it.
good fun. मजा
It was.
I think इतनी हमें आती नहीं है करना, जैसे वो तो ऑब्वियस हो गया था कि PSL ऑप्शन किसी को करना नहीं आता, लेकिन चलो बेबी स्टेप्स आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ठीक हो जाएंगे.
I think the uncle pun needs to go away. Of
नहीं,
like a
the uncle pun was good.
the
Naseem
uncle
bhai, come
pun
on,
needs
man.
to start like shifting away now from the
Come on, man. That
from
was
these
fun, man.
from these think tanks now, man. Because like going back to
I prefer Wasim Akram over a stuffy white dude. Oh, come on, 20 crore,
no,
30 crore.
but like okay, but like I'm talking about like Quetta. One of the things that would have gone on is Moin Khan.
उनसे तो वैसे ही उनको पर्स छीन लो ना कि भाई आपने पैसे नहीं खर्च करने, हम बना के देंगे टीम आपको.
No, aside from that, it is also Moin Khan basically then stuff again. Totality.
मोइन खान
Huh.
क्या करें? It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
All
मजा
righty,
आती है
gents.
खेलता.
We will see you again soon. This was good.